see me. I am not feeling very well. I haven't been feeling very well for the past couple of days now, and I wanted to kind of sit down and pretty much talk about what's been happening. I know that this information is not important to everybody, but for those that are going through what I'm going through or will still be going through after conceiving, here are what I'm going through, okay? I know I'm gonna sound really weird. I I don't feel good. Simple. I do have my cup here. I hope I don't throw up on camera, but if I do, guys, you just have to forgive me. I am pregnant and I'm going through severe morning sickness. So, um, the biggest thing that I want to talk about, guys, is my hospital visit. So before the hospital visit, I started having really bad nausea probably about 5 to 6 days ago. Really bad. And at first it was just nausea, constant nausea. And then it got really bad to the point it had me in the bed like 24/7. And of course the headaches never stopped. I've had headaches since 3 weeks. So the headaches have gotten worse, and then there's the nausea. So both of those were just constantly happening over and over and over. My husband asked me, to go to the hospital. I chose to just kind of be very stubborn and say no, just because I don't like dealing with hospitals, and I know like now they don't really care. Like they don't really care. Like I'm not gonna say every hospital, but I know the ones that are in South Carolina, they don't care, because the more they have you sit there, the more they're still gonna be getting paid. So I'm gonna explain the hospital visit and just what they told me. So the day it happened was was it yesterday? Day before yesterday, which was Monday. So Monday I decided to go to the hospital. And the only reason why I decided to go was because both of them were getting so bad. It had me in the bed. Like I couldn't do anything, couldn't wash the dishes, couldn't tend to my children, nothing. It was really horrible. So I called my husband while he was at work, and I was like, honey, I need you to come home. I need to go to the hospital. I need to get something for it. Now, it wasn't a big emergency. It just, all I wanted was some nausea medicine and just something for my headache so that I can function better without feeling like shit, basically. So my husband gets there, my mom gets there, and my mom takes the kids for me so that I could go to the hospital, because I didn't really want to have them in the hospital with me because there's so many germs. And of course, COVID has gotten worse again. So guys, please mask up. Even though your mask is really not going to prevent it from happening to you, still, keep your distance and definitely take it seriously, because COVID is nothing to play with. I've had it one time and I literally thought I was dying. I thought I was dying. Like, it was horrible. But anyway, back to the story. So my mom comes, get the kids, and I go to the hospital. So by this time, it's like 12:54 p.m. So it's noon. So it's even noontime. So I get to the hospital. My husband had to drop me off, and he had to leave because he had to go pick up my other son. Get there, check in. And she's like, what's wrong with you? So I'm telling her what's wrong with me. Every detail that I can think of off the top of my head. Because when you feel like shit, you don't really feel like talking. I don't know why some people don't get that. But when you feel like shit, you don't really feel like talking. So I'm explaining to her what's going on. I'm explaining her in details of what I need. I specifically said, I just need some relief. I just need some nausea medicine and the lightest Tylenol you can give me. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. That's all I wanted. That's it. So then she's like, okay. She puts a little bracelet on me. And she's like, they're gonna call you back in a few minutes. I said, okay. So I go and of course I'm wearing my mask, guys. I'm wearing my mask. I wear my mask everywhere I go. Even though, like I said, it doesn't prevent the issue. And I sit down and I'm waiting. And I'm waiting. I think I waited for about 20 minutes, 25 minutes. And then they call me to the back, and they call like 5 people to the back to the same area. So the first thing they do is they check your temperature, your pressure, your weight, and your oxygen level. And everything was fine. You know, as soon as she said, oh, your pressure's fine, and she rips the thing off my arm, and she's like, okay, next person. She said, oh, you can go wait in the waiting room. I tell you one thing about hospitals have changed. They don't really take their job as professional as they should. But if it was the other way around on how you treat people, maybe they would wake up if it happens to them. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But anyway, back to the story. So there's like a little waiting room in the back that you can sit down. So I really try and distance myself from everybody. Of course, guys, COVID has gotten really, really horrible. So I'm sitting there trying not to look at the light, because the light my eyes was hurting, my head was hurting. I felt fucking horrible, like horrible. And I'm just like turning in my chair, moving around and stuff like that. I think I was sitting in there for probably about another 25 minutes before I was sent to the triage door. Then I went to triage, and oh my gosh, I'm just so sick of people. Like, it's not all people, but just people who ask dumb shit. Sorry, forgive me, but this is my live, and this is just, guys, this is just going to be a point blank period live. This is not going to be no sugarcoat bullshit. This is just pretty much going to be how I feel, my reaction to what I've been through, just how I feel about it. And of course, just what happened. And, you know, if you don't like the fact that I talk shit about dumb shit, you know, just go away. Bye-bye. See you later. But this is for like those that are really like, that have gone through this and just like is tired of it. Like, it doesn't make no sense for people to be mean, to be rude, to be selfish, you know? And then it sucks for a lot of people, because when they go through it, then they want you to feel bad for them. That's not how it works. But anyway, back to the story. So I go to triage. I sit there, and she says, hi, are you Whitney? I was like, yes. And she's like, okay, tell me what's wrong with you. I'm sure, in my mind, I'm like, I'm sure that when I was at the front desk and I told her in detail what was wrong with me, I'm sure you knew. Because if you don't know, what the fuck do you guys do? Like, why would you ask me the questions in the front and you don't tell your partners or the people that's supposed to be helping each other, you know, like it's your team, what's going on? The only thing you know is my name, bitch. The only thing you know is my name. Because obviously you wouldn't be asking me this question if you actually, you know, if the one in the front was paying attention to the one in the back. But anyway, I just said mine, shut up mine. And I just was like, okay, I'm here because I am pregnant, and I've been having really bad nausea, really bad headaches, and I've just been in the bed for like 24 fucking 7. I'm like, this is my 4th pregnancy, guys, and this one is like kicking my fucking ass. And even though I'm like really early, I'm only 7 weeks. Well, guys, okay, so let me explain this first before I continue the story. So it's kind of a question mark between how many weeks I am, between 6 and 7 weeks. And that is because my first appointment is September the 12th. And of course, you gotta go to the doctor to get a verification of, how many weeks you are, that kind of crap. So like at first, a lot of people go off of the app. When you type in your the last period, it gives you, how many weeks you are and a due date. So that's really what I'm going off of. So that's at the hospital, that's what I'm saying. Oh, I'm 6 to 7 weeks. I'm not quite sure because I haven't had my first appointment yet. So that's what I'm going off of. Anyway, she's like, okay, so you're having really bad nausea. Okay. Do you smoke? Do you drink? Asking me all these stupid, dumbass questions. Like, I get you gotta know this stuff, but my thing is this. This is my thing. Every time you go to the hospital, they ask you these same questions. And I'm sure you're clicking on these questions and you're making a record of these questions and my answer. But why are you not keeping these answers in there versus you constantly asking me the same shit over and over again? If I said no the first time, I think it would still be no. Don't get me wrong, people do change and they do start drinking, they do start smoking and things like that. So I see how they can ask the same questions over and over and over again, but it's annoying. Sorry, it's fucking annoying. But anyway, so she's like, okay, so which one's worse, nausea or your headaches? I said, both. She looks at me and she's like, both? I'm like, yeah. I literally said, I just need something for my nausea and something for this headache. Now, mind you guys, yes, most times you can just go to the store. I didn't know you can buy nausea medicine over the counter. I did not know that at all. So that was just me having a moment. But pain medicine wise, everything is not safe when you're pregnant. And I know that you can take Tylenol, but you know how many times Tylenol has gone through recalls and all that stuff? So it's like confusing. So like, do I take it? Do I don't take it? I don't fucking know. So that's why I chose to go to the hospital, even though I know this was going to be a fucking roller coaster. Went to the hospital. So anyway, she's like, both? I'm like, yes, both. Like, I'm just going to say what I told the lady up front. I just need something just so I can function and take care of my family and be able to do stuff, without being in the bed and throwing up my fucking lungs. You know what I'm saying? I just need, that's all I want. Like, I just told her, I hope it doesn't be an hour. I hope it doesn't be 2 hours. It's simple. The question I'm asking is simple. I'm not saying that this is an emergency, because it's not an emergency. It's just, I need a prescription so that I can take it to the pharmacy, get the medicine, take the medicine when needed throughout my pregnancy. That's it, guys. Point blank, period. That's all I wanted. All I wanted. So she's like, okay. So then the other lady comes in, sits right beside her. She's like, this is Whitney. She's 6 to 7 weeks pregnant and she's having really bad headaches and pain. And of course, guys, I've been having really sharp pain on my right side, like sharp pain. And it happens like 4 to 5 times a day. I'm not sure why, but anyway, I told them that as well. So she's explaining it to the other lady. The other lady's like, uh-huh. That's it. She doesn't say anything else. She just goes, uh-huh. And she's like, okay, Whitney, we're gonna send you back to the lobby, and someone will be calling you shortly. Y'all know what shortly means, right? Just saying. Okay. So I go back to the lobby. There is nobody in there. When I first got there, there were probably like 12 people. And when I went back in there was nobody. And by this time, it was like, I want to say about 1:30. No. It's about 2 o'clock. about 2 o'clock, because my husband had to get my kid at 2, had to get our son at 2:30. So he wasn't there. Um, so anyway, I'm sitting in the lobby. All of a sudden, they're playing fucking SpongeBob on TV. I'm like, this hospital is so boring. I don't like sitting in here. Like, it's just so boring. And I'm like, I don't like it. I don't like sitting in the. Okay. So guys, if you heard an alarm, forgive me. I have it set for certain things every time. But anyway, guys, back to the story. So sitting in the lobby, it was 2 o'clock. I was trying to watch SpongeBob, but of course my eyes are hurting, my head's hurting, I just feel like crap. And I'm just sitting there. And all of a sudden comes in 25 more people. All these people are going ahead of me, constantly going through this door, back to back, through this door, back to back. So probably about 2 hours passed, and my husband got there, and my husband was like, honey, are you in the back yet? No, I'm not. He was standing there, he was trying to get like one of those visitors pass things you have to get. And he had my oldest. So they came, they sat beside me, and they were like, what's going on? I'm like, I don't know. I said, honey, can you please go to the desk and just ask them what's taking so long? And then they said, oh, we're waiting on a bed for you. I get you gotta have your privacy in your own room, but they have like these little corner things. Like, I don't know if every hospital has this, but they have like these little slots where they have like a sit-up chair, you know, the doctor's stool, little thing with like the products and supplies that they need. And you know, they just sit you in that room and they talk to you about what you need, especially if it's something simple. Which what I needed was something simple. Um, nope, they were like, you gotta wait. So I waited. By the time I got to the back, guys, it was right at 6. It was 5:56. So by that time, it had already been 5 hours. And so I get in the room, I sit down. The nurse, I've seen her before. She's a really wonderful nurse. Now, I'm not going to say every worker is bad. She's a really wonderful nurse. She's a little rough when it comes to putting the needle in and stuff like that, but she has really good tricks on how to not feel the needle, on just some techniques on relieving pain without pain medicine. She really did try and help. The thing was, she was like, how many weeks are you? And I was like, I don't really know. It's like 6 or 7. Right now I'm going off of what the app is telling me because I don't have my first appointment until September. And she's like, okay, well, I need to verify that you are pregnant. I said, okay. She's like, I'm going to need a urine sample. I was like, I gave a urine sample 5 hours. 5 hours ago. She's like, oh, well, let me go find out where it is. Normally when people take a urine sample from you, they automatically jump on it and, you know, get it done, right? But it took her probably about 10, 15 minutes to find it. And then she comes back and says, oh, you are pregnant, and it took me a minute to find it. Why would it take you a minute to find it when I gave it to one person at the front desk, right there on the little table thing right beside her? Like, that's where everybody puts them. So why did it take you 15 minutes to find it? Anywho, I let it go. She's like, okay, I gotta do some what do they call it? Blood drawn. You know, they use it and they was doing some tests to make sure I was fine, make sure the baby was fine. And then she comes back after she gets the blood. She comes back probably about 40 minutes later, and she's hooking up fluids. And she's like, "You need fluids." She said, "You are dehydrated." I said, "Yeah, of course I would be dehydrated because you guys had me sitting in a fucking lobby for almost 6 hours. Yeah, of course I would be dehydrated. I mean, who the fuck wouldn't be dehydrated in 6 hours, guys? Like, but anyway, I let her hook me up, you know, give me the fluids and everything, and she went back out. And all of a sudden, the doctor comes in, and he's like, "Hey, how you doing? Are you Whitney?" I'm like, "I'm the one who's laying in this bed, aren't I?" "I guess I would be Whitney." And then he's like, "This is my assistant." I don't know what he said his name was. But then the doctor was like, "Well, tell me what's going on." Guys, this is the third fucking person asked me the same fucking question. Like, do you not believe that you're gonna get the same fucking answer? You're gonna get the same fucking answer. Like, what's wrong with you guys' communication? Like, I told front desk, I told triage. Both of them put it in the computer. How can you not see this, sir? But anyway, I swallowed my sarcasm and I told him. When I told him, he was like, "That's why you're here?" "Yes, that's why I'm here, sir. Because before I came to the hospital, I did call the hospital. Well, I called the OBGYN at that hospital. And she was like, with everything you're going through, you need to go to the emergency room. You need to get some fluids probably. And they can definitely give you some medicine to help you feel better." That's why I said, that's why I chose to go to the hospital, because she really, really kind of just was like very helpful with, you know, talking me through what I needed, what was probably going on with my body, you know, just going to the hospital. There are ways to help you to feel better. So that's why I chose to go, even though I knew this was going to be fucking bullshit. Anyways, I tell him, and he's like, "That's why you're here at the hospital?" "Yes, I called. I called and I spoke to someone before I actually came. So, you know," she was just like, "Go to the hospital. They can help you, blah, blah, blah." And then he's like, And he's like getting, you know how some people, they get like, instead of saying sarcastic words, their face expression can be sarcastic. And his expressions was very sarcastic. And he just walked out the door. And I never saw the doctor again for a while. Probably about an hour. I didn't see him. And then the nurse comes back in, and she gives me like some Zofran for nausea, and she gave me some Tylenol for my headache, and she just told me to relax and let the fluids go in my body, and hopefully I feel better. That's what she said. You know, she was very helpful. This was the constant questions that really aggravate the shit out of me. When you don't feel good, you really don't feel like dealing with people's fucking questions. Like, if I told one person, like, you know, one person, you need to communicate that shit to the other people because they're part of your team. You know, you shouldn't be taking your. So, guys, I'm laying there. My family is hungry because we have been sitting there for fucking hours. And all of a sudden, the doctor comes back in and he's asking me, "How are you feeling? Are you feeling any better?" And I'm like, not really, but I mean, it's, she just put the medicine in a couple minutes ago. So, you just got to give it time to like work through your body, that type of stuff. So, oh, you have to forgive me. My head is still hurting. I don't feel good. Um, I really don't. And I'm really hoping not to throw up right now. So, um, what happened? Um, so he comes back in, he asked me if I was feeling better, blah, blah, blah. And I said, no, I'm not feeling better. I said, "Doc, listen, I get I have to have the fluids because, I've been through this before. But the headaches now and the nausea now is more severe than my 3 pregnancies before. Um, I said, "Doc, all I asked was just a prescription of nausea medicine and a prescription of some type of pain medicine. It didn't even have to be very, very strong pain medicine, just something so where I can take it to the pharmacy, get the medicine, and I can take it, when I need to, when I'm at home." That was all I asked. That was it. And I was like, "Doc, you weren't listening. Like, you're not understanding what I'm going through. You're not understanding. I didn't want to be sitting in here for no 6.5 hours for something so simple that I asked." So he gets upset and like, "Well, you know, you were very low in fluids, so we had to give you fluids." I said, "Doc, the only reason I was low in fluids is because you had me sitting in a fucking lobby for 5 hours." I said, "For something so simple that you could just, I didn't even need a room for. I just needed the prescription and go to the pharmacy and get it. You guys have made this day very complicated from what it needed to be. Like, I know that your bill for me is probably fucking high because you just let me sit in that lobby instead of doing something so simple that I asked." He gets upset with an attitude and he just like walks towards the door and he just walks out. My husband's like pissed the fuck off, really bad pissed off. Me, I'm not pissed off, it's just I don't feel good. And I'm not asking for no headache for me or no headache for them. All I'm asking is the prescription so that I can take it to the pharmacy. That was it. That was it. That way I would have it at home and I can take it when I need to. That's it. But they made it so complicated. And it was so exhausting. My stomach got so upset. My kid was crying because he had just got out of school at 2:30 and he had to be with me at the hospital. And I know he was hungry because they eat lunch at 11 at school. And he was hungry. He was like, "Mommy, I'm hungry," and blah, blah. I'm like, "I know, baby, but as soon as mommy's done, we'll go get something to eat." And my husband, he was pissed because he was starving, and oh, it was a lot, guys. It was a lot. It was a lot, guys. The new symptoms that I'm feeling for week 6 is I have this really bad metallic taste. And what it is, it's on my tongue, guys. I've had this with my second pregnancy. I don't think I had it with my third pregnancy, but I've had this with my second pregnancy. And what it is, it's like no matter how many times you brush your teeth, brush your tongue, it's like a taste on your tongue that just will not go away. Give me a second. It's a taste that won't go away. Like, it is disgusting. It's disgusting, disgusting. It tastes like, you ever, like, I know a lot of people probably can swallow pills or whatever, but for those that have chewed their pills up before, like vitamins and things like that, y'all know how nasty they taste. That is what it tastes like. And I have to brush my tongue like a lot, and it still won't go away. And the lady was like, try and, use mouthwash. She's like, whenever you taste it, just use mouthwash. You can use mouthwash, but of course, when you have mouthwash, it's got the alcohol and stuff in it. It can burn your mouth and stuff like that. And you don't want to use it constantly like that. So, you have to excuse me. Like, this metallic taste is really horrible. So it's like you chewing your vitamins, and it's just constantly that taste is on your tongue. That is a new symptom for me for now, with week 6. My breasts are sore. They're super, super sore. I have really, really bad back pain. More joint pains in my legs. What else? Vomiting. Oh, let me explain this, guys. So I started to vomit this morning at 3 a.m. So I woke up to use the bathroom, and I went to get a drink of water. Soon as I drank the water, like, it's like my stomach started to just shrivel up like a noodle, and it just started to act up like a tornado, and I was horrible. And my stomach started to really, 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 really hurt, and I started to really, really, really feel sick. And all of a sudden, I was like, something right. So I jump up out the bed, and I threw up. My husband jumps up, and he's like, "You okay? You okay?" He's rubbing my back and everything. I'm like, "Oh no, I'm not okay. This is like the one thing I don't want to deal with, and that's vomiting. I hate vomiting, guys." But I threw up. My husband asked me if I was okay. I was like, "Yeah, I'm okay." So all of a sudden, I sorry about that, guys. Oh, so all of a sudden, I decided to lay down again. And my husband asks me, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." No, I was not fine. I felt horrible. But I just, got under the cover, got warm, and I just kind of try and go back to sleep type thing. In about 3 hours, my husband had to go to work, and I woke up to make breakfast for the kids and for me. They ate, I ate, but Of course, guys, I have this really bad metallic taste, so it makes my food taste really, really horrible. So I went to go brush my teeth. As soon as I brushed my tongue, I had to throw up everything I just ate. And all of a sudden, it just wouldn't stop. It just kept coming and coming and coming and coming. And I'm like, oh my goodness, this is just so horrible. Like, guys, I hate throwing up. But I mean, I know that, everything that I'm going through is a part of pregnancy. I know that some people go through certain symptoms and some people don't go through none at all. I wish I was one of them. But I don't regret being pregnant. It's just, this one's different. It's like literally horrible. I really just want to feel better. I haven't worked out in about a week. Um, I feel horrible. I really do. Um, so I'm trying to think if there's any more symptoms I've been feeling. Nothing else right now. Um, Nothing else. But I wanted to do this live because I canceled it before the other day. And that was because I really haven't been feeling good. And they were saying that the medicine that they gave me in the IV was going to help. And it didn't. I didn't feel good. I didn't feel good at all. Like, if you're going through the same thing I'm going through, I feel for you. I really do feel for you. Um, One of the things that I'm doing is I am drinking green tea with grinded ginger. And that helps with the nausea, but it's like a temporary thing. Um, but it could be temporary for me, and it could be permanent for you guys. So I mean, don't knock it till you try it. If you're not used to the ginger taste, you might want to do a little ginger at a time and not put a lot of ginger in it. Um, but that does help every now and again. Drinking water, I try and make sure I'm drinking lots and lots of water. But when you have a metallic taste, when you have a metallic taste, it makes everything you eat disgusting. So here's a demonstration of what I taste every day. So okay, for those who, I think everybody's had a virus before, but you've ever had a virus where your taste buds just gone and you taste nothing but it tastes really disgusting. That's what metallic taste is like. Um, it's just everything is disgusting. um, and so I have to really force myself to drink water. I have to force myself to eat something because the taste is so bad. Um, I was told to try and use mouthwash or peppermints, um, oranges, and things like that for the taste. Oh, excuse me. Oh, and also I'm very, very gassy. I'm very, very gassy, guys. So if you're gassy too, I feel for you. I think that's it, guys. That's it. So, guys, I haven't really been doing any exercising and things like that. For me, I've been feeling really, really horrible. But the joint pains, it's my entire body. Like, my entire body hurts really, really bad. Not hurts like hurt, but it's aches. My body aches. I have body aches. So, it's like constant aches. in my arms. Like right now, I can feel them in my arms. I can feel them in my calves and everything. Um, it's just a constant pain that I feel. Um, what is this fourth pregnancy like? How do I feel about this fourth pregnancy? Like, no sugarcoating. How do I feel? I don't regret being pregnant because this is Johnny's first kid, but I do like. I just wasn't prepared for this. Like I knew I'd feel nauseated and things like that, but every pregnancy is different. This one's more severe. The nausea and the headaches are more severe, and it literally has me in the bed. But I had to really force myself up to do this live. So I forced myself to do this live because I don't want to seem like I'm not being active with my channel. I do. I try and be active. Um, I didn't want to seem like I wasn't, there. Um, but I am going through a lot with this pregnancy. Even though it's the early stages, it's a lot. Um, there are times where I would feel so bad, I would literally cry. Like it's emotional going through this. But I know that, there's a bundle of joy growing inside of me. And I'm willing to take on whatever. But at the same time, it's not easy. It's not easy. Um, so for those who are pregnant, I wish you all a wonderful pregnancy. If you're going through severe issues in your pregnancy, like symptoms and things like that, nothing bad, just, crazy symptoms, just take it easy. You gotta learn to breathe and just remember to drink plenty of water. Like that's really the main thing. No matter how many times you throw up, no matter how many times, you get really bad headaches, you don't feel like moving around, the main thing is definitely drinking lots of fluids. Like even when you're sick, they tell you always drink fluids. So I definitely do my best to drink plenty of fluids. I have here my half-gallon of water. I drink 3 of these, and that equals up to 128 ounces. So I do drink my water 24/7, and I put it in this little small one because when I'm moving around and stuff like that, I don't want to carry a big heavy ass bottle around with me. So I carry my little one. I pour from the big one into the little one, and I carry my little one around with me so that I can drink it very easily without carrying heavy ass bottles. And like I said, my arms and everything they ache really, really bad. So I don't want to be trying to really exercise much or really like pick up heavy things. Um, that type of thing. I don't know how long the symptoms are going to last like this. I have looked it up that some people go through it the whole 9 months. I'm hoping I don't. Guys, I would be fucking miserable. I would be really fucking miserable if I go through these symptoms the whole 9 months. This nausea, these headaches, severe nausea, severe headaches for 9 months. No. And the aches and stuff like that, no. I would be like, Doc, you know what? Put me in a coma. I would be like, you gotta do something. I can't. No, I couldn't. I couldn't. I would never get nothing done. You know, I just would feel fucking miserable, honestly. Um, I've looked up, when you don't feel like eating, it's good to drink fluids. But it's also great when you're really having severe nausea and things like that to have like a light snack with you 24/7. Some people choose crackers, some people choose mashed potatoes, any type of starch is what it says. But I like nuts. I like all types of nuts. But my favorite is walnuts. And I have this really good size bag of walnuts. This is a 24-ounce pack of walnuts, and I have this by my bed 24 fucking 7. Um, and it's got really good benefits in here for you. Protein is 4 grams, calcium 30 milligrams, which is 2%. Potassium is 128 milligrams, which is 2%. And the calories are only 190, but these are nuts. I've even looked up the benefits for walnuts, and they have really good benefits for your baby's brain development. And I think it was the main thing was for the brain, the brain development. Um, so I chose to eat them. Um, but I try not to eat so many walnuts at one time. It does help because it gets to the point for me where I don't want to eat like at all because I don't want to throw up and because I don't want my stomach to feel like crap. And for me, I have to really force myself to eat it because of the metallic taste and because the fact that I feel freaking nauseated 24/7 and I just don't feel like doing nothing. So I have to force myself to eat for the baby. And I have to remind myself that there's a baby in there and that you cannot lay around and just not eat, not drink something. So I have to really force myself to do what I must for this baby in my stomach. So guys, if you're going through that, you're just gonna have to really put in your mind that there's a baby in your stomach and that what you're going through is a process of building a life inside of you. You may feel like complete shit, but in the end, you'll have a wonderful life, a wonderful little baby. So, one a bundle of joy. So, you just gotta take on whatever comes your way throughout this pregnancy, any pregnancy. Just gotta, just gotta keep going. It's not easy. This one is definitely different. This one's definitely different. It sucks. The symptoms suck. The pregnancy doesn't suck, but the symptoms definitely they suck because I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. Um, and I just want to feel better. You know, I pray every day, and I say, Lord, I know I got to go through a lot of things with this pregnancy, but take this away because I don't want it. But you know, there's a life growing inside of you that to some people seems easy to get pregnant. It's easy to get pregnant. It's easy to have a baby. It's not easy. A lot of people don't worry when they're pregnant. Um, and that's because they feel like every time it's going to be magical, every time it's going to be the same outcome. And that's not true. When you've had people go through miscarriages and just having a lot of setbacks of years and years of trying to get pregnant, you learn to take it seriously because that's a blessing that you finally can have a baby, that you finally are not going to have a miscarriage and you made it past the time you had the first miscarriage. So, say you had a miscarriage at 12 weeks, and by the time, and when you get pregnant again, you made it to 28 weeks. That is a big accomplishment. And that's why a lot of people take their pregnancy very seriously because a miscarriage is it's a very emotional thing. Some people don't. There are rare people that don't take it seriously, and you're like, oh well, just try again. But when you're a nurturer, you're a mother, and you know that this is what you wanted, and it's just taken from you, it really takes a part of you every time that happens to you. Um, I went through two miscarriages. And how I looked at them were I was young. Not I wasn't a teenager, guys. I was 18 at the time. Um, well, 19 at the time. I was getting ready to turn 20, and when I went through the first miscarriage, it was weird because I was 5 weeks, and I went to this facility in New York because I lived in New York for a little bit, and they dealt with babies, ultrasounds and stuff like that. It wasn't like a hospital. It was like a center where you go. And I went there to get an ultrasound done. And I got the ultrasound done. And so while I was getting the ultrasound done, immediately she looked. It didn't even take, like, ultrasound, it takes a while. But for her, it only took 5 minutes. And because as soon as she was able to find the sac, she immediately said, "There's no baby in this sac. There's just a sac that developed, but your baby didn't develop." Immediately, she was like, "Do you want to go ahead and take the pill so we can terminate it and go ahead and push the sac out because there's no baby?" And it was the way she said it, and she kept saying it that way. And when you're having your first kid, it's like you have every reason to be concerned, and you have so much emotion in that first pregnancy, so much emotion because you don't know what you're doing, you don't know really what you're going through. All you know is that this is all new to me, and I know that there's something growing inside of me, you know but I'm not aware of what's happening. And the fact that she just came off with this bad news and had no sympathy at all, that tore me apart. I told her no, and I just decided to go through the process on my own, without the pill. So I went home. I didn't start bleeding anything, nothing yet. So hold on, guys. Oh, ugh, so disgusting. So, I didn't start bleeding anything yet. I just, I kept believing that the baby was okay. I didn't want to believe it. That was really my thing. Until a couple of days later, I started to bleed. Very light. Then it got heavier and heavier. And then all of a sudden, I started to feel pain and pressure. And it started out like period cramps, then all of a sudden it got really severe and it got really, really, really crazy pain. I didn't realize that I was actually having contractions and labor pains. I didn't realize that, like, because no one really told me what really was going to happen once it passed. So going through that was horrible. I did everything I could to minimize pain. I got in a tub of warm water, and all I could feel was something pushing down on my vagina, trying to come out of my vagina. And the guy I was with, he didn't understand anything that I was going through. Like, he was just like rubbing my back and everything. He was trying to comfort me and everything, but he didn't realize, oh, you're in labor, you know. Even though it's a miscarriage, you're gonna have those, especially when you've gone so many weeks, you're going to have those contractions and pain because it's gotta come out. And I just didn't know that. I was not prepared for it, and I just didn't know that was gonna happen. So with all the pain that was happening, I was confused. Why am I having this pain? You know. But I dealt with it for about 4 days, and the pain just got worse and worse and worse and worse. So we went to um, the first OB appointment because the first one was a center. We went to a center. We went to an OB appointment. And as soon as she was talking to me, but I was like completely out of it, like, because I was in so much pain. And she was like, asking me was I bleeding, and I was like, yeah, I'm bleeding. So she said, okay, are you in pain? I said, yes, ma'am. I said, my back hurts, and it feels like something is trying to force itself out of me. And she said, okay, let me take a look. So she, she had me get into a gown, and, she put the forceps up, and, the little stands up so I can put my feet up. And as soon as she looked down, she said, oh, your sac is trying to come out, but you didn't make it to 10 centimeters so that it can come out. It's trying to push itself out of 2 centimeters. That's why you're having so much pain. And I'm like, what? I was so confused. I didn't really understand what she was saying. But she took these forceps, little clamps, and she pulled on the pieces that was trying to come out. It was stuck because it didn't have enough room to come through. So it was causing me pain. So she pulls it out, and as soon as she pulled the last piece out, the pressure and contractions went away. Like, I didn't have them anymore. And she was like, okay, do you feel better? And I was like, yeah, I do. I feel a lot better. She's like, you're going to have bleeding and things like that. You're going to have to wait 2 cycles before trying to have another baby. And, just try and take it easy. She gave me some pain medicine and just some ointment to put down there. And she just told me to rest. The crazy thing that happened was seeing it. She was like, do you want to see what we pulled out of you? She's like, it's not going to be a baby, but we pulled out your sac. And I, at first, didn't want to. But I just decided to look, and when I looked, I was like, what the hell is that? And she was like, that is your sac that the baby would be inside of, but your baby didn't develop. And it was just like a bunch of tissue, bunch of blood tissue from out of my body. That's what it looked like. And I don't know. It changed me for a while. Um, I never really thought about having kids anymore. Nothing. It took me a long time before I decided to try and have a kid again. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. I know this live is really boring, but I wanted to just let everybody know that I'm okay. I'm just dealing with this nausea and headaches, and this pregnancy has taken a toll on me a lot. Even though it's really early, it really has taken a toll. Um, Honestly, don't know if this is gonna be the only thing I do today with the channel. I really want to work out. I really want to get my mat workout done, stuff like that. I'm gonna try and go drink some green tea with grinded ginger. Try and get myself feeling a little bit better so that I can work out. Definitely post more, you know. I don't know how long I'm gonna be down like this, but I did get my prescription, guys. I don't know if I said that, but I did get the prescription from them. Um, I still have the prescription because the simple fact that I remember the what is it, Zofran? I can't remember what it's called, some type of nausea medicine. But I remember taking it during my second pregnancy, and I had to go to the emergency room about the same issue. Um, and I remember finally having my doctor's appointment, and my doctor's like, "You're not supposed to be taking that. That's not safe for you to take." And she put me on two other types of um, nausea medicine. So I'm kind of afraid to get the nausea medicine, but I really need to take the nausea medicine. This isn't easy. But at the same time, you want to make sure you're doing everything safe for your baby, you know, and for yourself. Um, it's just a lot of do's and don'ts you shouldn't do when you're pregnant. Um, and I am, for one, stubborn on a lot of it when it comes to exercise and stuff like that, guys. It's a lot. This pregnancy is kicking my ass. Kicking my ass, dude. I'm just hoping it will get better to where I can function like Whitney again, because I don't feel like myself. But I pray everybody who's pregnant, trying, you know, maybe gonna have a baby in a couple years from now. I wish you guys all the best, and definitely be prepared for the surprises. Because don't think you are immune. Don't think that you know, it's gonna skip you. Just prepare. Even if it does skip you, just still prepare for it. You know, always have your little nausea medicine and everything all lined up and ready to go. Whatever you need before it starts. Because once it starts, it's like, oh my goodness. Some people don't have it so bad. I will admit that they don't. You know, every pregnancy is different. You just gotta flow with it. You gotta roll with it. You just gotta just realize in the end, there's a bundle of joy. You know, and that's the way I look at it. I'm going through a lot with this pregnancy, but I'm not bleeding. I don't have like severe pain where it's a real issue. It's just the nausea and the headaches and the aches, and I would take the minor things over the severe things, over the things that can be threatening, you know. I do plan on doing a live tonight, and I'm hoping to get it done because I need to definitely, start uploading more. So, today I'm supposed to be doing a mat workout and a stand-up workout, which is my stand-up workout is really just me training my muscles and training my just training with being flexible, more flexible, um, building strength in my body. The mat workout is pretty much a lot of um, leg exercises, a little bit of fupa exercises, ab exercises, um, definitely some stretching, just just definitely trying to recharge 24/7 and not seem. I don't want my body to be lazy. I don't want my body to be weak from going so long without working out. So I do plan on jumping back into my exercises. So I'm going to go drink my tea and everything and definitely try and get that upload done today. So guys, pray for me and I'll be praying for you guys. And let's just get through it one day at a time. See you all soon, okay?